stress.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review, girl, finally, for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6 Reunion Part 4. I feel like this has lasted forever. Okay? Not just for some time, not just for a little bit of time, but forever. Okay, let's go ahead and get into. Y'all know to subscribe to my channels. To become a JayBird, bop, whatever, okay? Y'all know to like and comment and share and relax and center yourself and inhale and all these things I say every single video. And y'all know to always check the description box for all the links, all the information that you're going to need for anything you may need to ask me, okay? Y'all know to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG and Twitter. The links for that is also where? In the description box below. And y'all know to like and subscribe. But yes, I am here. But I am also over, girl, look. A lot of my frustration with YouTube recently has strictly been with this show. One, because I feel like it took forever to get to the end of this. I feel like this show has been fussing about the exact same thing for 2 seasons. So, as a reviewer, it felt like an extremely long argument. It felt like an extremely long, combative bunch of bullshit, just for lack of a better term. And the thing is, I used to enjoy this show, and I'm like, not so much anymore. And I review it on my channel because I review it, but I have been over this show. Let's see, we have 4-part reunion, so the season of it all, maybe for the past 5 to 6 episodes back. Okay, I'm because between the freaking commenters, between the negativity, between look, the comment sections be stupid, and I be trying my best to protect my positive energy and protect my aura and stay in a happy place. And I'm like, this show every week has been so divisive. And I don't blame not one person or not, I blame us a plethora of things. But I feel like if Andy and the producers and the story writers or whatever and the ladies of the show, if they don't realize y'all can't keep doing this same argument next season, that ain't gonna work. It's not going to work because it makes the show hard to watch. And while I feel like everybody has the right to their opinion, good, bad, or indifferent, I also feel like the show should be entertaining. It should not be full of divisive conversations and arguments and all the girl, just team too much. That's why I felt like we did not need a 4-part reunion. We did not. The 4-part was basically Nicki Minaj asking questions from fans. And I'm like, girl, while I enjoyed Nicki's presence, while I feel like Nicki did a good job, I also feel like it wasn't needed. I laughed and kiki a little bit, but I also feel like it wasn't needed. I feel like this season needed to wrap it up and then next season come and be better. Okay, come with some new arguments. Come with some new foolishness. Okay, I'm not saying the show has the whole kumbaya. Woman, we know it's going to be some bullshit here and there. Fine. But the same arguments from last season being the same arguments this season, even if they're in different ways, it's still the same argument. Okay. And a lot of people are Gizelle, Robin, Ashley, Candace, Wendy, um, Karen, Mia, they're all to blame in one way or the other. This season was like, oh God, every episode I'm like, is it gonna be another argument with the same thing? Oh my God, yes. And I'm just, I would look, when I say I was over it, I was over it. So I am completely happy that this season has concluded. And next season, the minute I see the same arguments, I'm gonna stop reviewing it because I refuse to put myself through the foolishness that some of these stands put people through. Honey, I ain't got time. And I don't want to have to ignore my commenters who just have a difference of opinion versus those who come here to fucking argue. Okay? Whew. I had to get that out. Anyway, let's get on to what we're gonna get on to, okay? Nicki Minaj and the ladies or whatever. So again, Nicki asked questions. I was like, some of them I didn't care about. Some of them I'm like, okay, yeah, you can tell that was just, them trying to toss a little monkey wrench in there to see what was gonna happen. But some of them, were inquisitive or whatever. So Nikki asked and asked if her lack of a storyline is the reason she went down to her breast milk to be Giselle's lapdog and cause bullshit and bring gossip to Wendy. Now, Ashley was like, first of all, are you saying that my family isn't a storyline? She's like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not saying that. Okay, cool. Because this is my sixth season on the show, okay, and I've always had things going on. And this is my thing. Um, I feel like when Wendy kept saying, I didn't feel like Ashley had any malicious intent, I think it was Gizelle. I wish more people left it at that because we need to at least hold the right person responsible. And I felt like that was Giselle's ass. Um, and so I agree with Wendy when she said, I don't think Ashley really came down there to start shit like that. I don't think she had any malicious intent like that. And Wendy's anger was really with Giselle, but I'm gonna leave that be. But I like Ashley bringing up how saying I always bring shit to people's face, whatever. I don't do think behind their back, and I kept hearing these different stories or whatever, and so Thunderbird. And so I wanted to talk to Wendy about the different things I was hearing, mainly from Giselle. And so when Nikki keeps saying that, with Ashley should have stayed home because she had a baby, even Candace, I was like, why is Candace taking up for Ashley? Where that come from? Okay. But she said, well, first, yes, she just gave him birth, true, but she know she had work to do. I'm like, that's true. And this is the thing about that is, could Ashley have stayed home? She could have. Absolutely. But like Candace said, she came to work, which is weird because Candace was the one fussing at Ashley for coming down there. So to me, I'm like, well, that says a lot, okay? But does that mean that Ashley, not Ashley, that Candace is a flip flopper? I'm not gonna say she's a flip flopper, but it's like, oh, so you can understand when people come down there to do something. But that could have just been Candace saying, well, I needed her to be there too so that I had someone to fuss with to get mad at, but I'm leave that be. And I liked Ash saying it was weird to her that Giselle was saying all this shit and no one was talking, like no one was saying, well, Giselle, what the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? So I brought it all out and I was like, whatever. Now I did not care about, Robin also brought up how well no one expected Winnie to get so upset. While I agree with that, I feel like that was a Robin trying to defend Giselle and how hard Wendy went at her. Robin, shut up. Okay? Shut up. Giselle started some shit and Wendy finished it, and that's what it is. Okay? I'm gonna pop off screen because I feel like my signal is being stupid. Anyway, I did not care about them. Well, I'm talking about Robin, not who cares. I did not care about her asking Juan, no, asking Robin if her and Juan, was having more sex. I'm like, no one can look. When she said, I felt like you and Juan had more sexual what? More sexual what? More sexual chemistry. And I'm like, this season, I've never felt sexual energy between Robin and Juan. And I don't know if it's because they are private people or if it's just not there. Now, the first few seasons, they really weren't together. They were still living together, but were not a couple. The last, what, 2 seasons or 3 seasons, they supposed to have been a couple. I still don't feel any sexual chemistry between them two, mainly because we rarely ever see them on camera together. So I'm worried about that. So Nikki do ask how if Juan, who seemed more happy this season, if he was more happy because Robin's now making money. Okay, so that takes stress off of him because she is now making some money. And Robin gonna say, well, he finds it sexy to see me doing my thing. Robin, girl, bye. I don't believe you. I feel like Juan is more happy. It may be because Robin has something else to do besides bother him. And now he can do whatever it is he wants to do because she's not busy doing other things. Again, I just don't see chemistry between them. But again, I don't know if it's because they're just private people and they don't want to be PDA. I'm not sure, but I didn't see it. And Nikki asked Robin about, are you Giselle's puppy dog? Because you said, you asked her if y'all were mad at Abby. What does that mean? And what I meant, I'm saying, I was drunk. Okay, I was drunk or whatever. And I mean, like, we all mad at her for coming down there and telling Wendy stuff. So are we all, no, you mean her, you mean y'all too. You do. Um, and not in defense of Robin, not in defense of Robin, but me and my best friend, we have said to each other, okay, we met at so and so because we're best friends. So I don't see an issue with that when it is two people who are solely themselves. I think the weirdness is because we feel like Giselle and Robin are a package deal. More so that Robin is attached to Giselle at the hip and not her own person. Whereas me and Karla, we're two completely individual people, but whatever. If she mad at somebody, oh, we mad at them? Okay, then we're mad. Because that's what best friends do. But Robin still needs her own shit. Okay, and we're not. And I also did not care about her asking if Robin and Giselle are less. I'm like, look, if they are, I don't care. But I feel like that was a dumb um rumor or a dumb comment that people consistently say online. I don't think Giselle and Robin are bumping coochies. I just don't. I think they both like penis. Um, that's it. I think they just both may not be getting no dick. I'm gonna leave that be. So, but Giselle did say if they were paid enough, because Nikki asked if you were paid like 100 whatever $1 million or whatever, would y'all seeing be together? And Giselle said, well, yeah, it would be a threesome between me, Robin, and Affy. Candace then said I join in, and they all then say how some of them will participate in some form of a three. I'm like, girl, y'all nasty. Anyway, they get on to well, they was asking about, Nikki was asking about Michael being sexually attracted to Juan. This question makes me uncomfortable for two reasons. Well, no. The reason it makes me uncomfortable because I feel like it's a way of shaming a person if they may like the same sex. However, I also don't think that's what they were trying to do. But I think it's a slippery slope. I feel like we all know Michael has some kind of man crush on Juan. We all know that Juan is fully aware of this. And I don't know if I fully believe that Juan and Michael would actually have a sexual relationship. Robin and Ashley both laugh it off where Abby brings up how she feels it's just a friendly attraction, but nothing will really happen. And Nikki was gonna say, well, no, because if something could happen because they be talking to each other, whatever, and if they're communicating, you never know what could happen. And I was like, I don't think, or not even that, I don't think I care about nasty Michael banking sexy as Juan. I don't see Juan going for it, but I also think there are a lot of men who are gay who look like Juan. So it's like, I don't know. But if Ashley don't mind it, if Juan laughs about it, if Robin don't care either, who am I to care? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it be. Nikki asked us about, she feels like her beauty has started to fade because we know that a couple years ago, I didn't put a picture a couple years ago is when what was his name? Ray was saying how I think two pictures. Ray was saying how Giselle's looks were fading, and so a woman wants to, get married or get a man before her looks fade, and Giselle said how Ray would be dead and buried before her looks would fade or whatever. So Nikki's point was, since you said that, has your look started fading? And she said, because you look different. Okay, you look different now than you used to. So do you think your look started to fade or whatever? And Gizelle didn't really answer the question. She didn't say yes or no. And I don't think her looks are fading, but I do think, she's aged, but she's aged well. Okay. She has good makeup. Okay, bad fast with good makeup or whatever. But we can't act like Gizelle isn't pretty because she is. But we also know that she's gotten older and she looks older, but she doesn't look bad or whatever. But Giselle only said how it's never okay for a man to have that kind of conversation with a woman, mainly trying to critique her looks and say you need to get with a man because you're cute now, you want to be cute later. I can't agree with that, even though Giselle's still full of shit. Um, and she admits that she really used the wrong word and she should have told Ray that she was actually hurt by him saying that versus her saying, he'd be dead and gone. I'm like, well, I mean, at least she added up to that. Um, Now, Nikki also asked Giselle, why do you consistently come for Karen's age? And Karen said, well, she ain't nothing but a skip, hop, and a jump behind me. I am 58 years old or whatever, and they all should hope they look as good when they are 58 because Giselle is 53 or 52. So again, you're gonna be my age soon enough or whatever. And when Giselle's gonna say, well, you know, I'll be joking because, we never quite knew Karen's age. But Robin then jumps in for her girlfriend. Well, Karen, you look much different now on season 6 than you did on season 1, okay? Because on season 1, you look like you was in your 60s, okay? And now you look about like 52. Now, when they did it before, look, Karen 100% looks different now. That we will not act like that isn't true. But Karen said, what, you're right. I did look different. I was a housewife for over 20 years or whatever, and I just had a whole rebirth. Okay, I get fillers now, I get Botox now, I take care of myself better now. And I do think Karen do look like a typical housewife in the suburbs, okay? To where you're not trying to look TV ready. And I think Karen saw herself season 1 and season 2. You know what? I can't keep looking like this. Not that she looked bad, but Karen looked, different. Different. Karen looked older than Giselle for sure. Okay. We not gonna act like she doesn't. But now both Karen and Giselle look the same damn age. Okay. But they both who are in their 50s, they both look great for their age. So I do think the jokes about age can go either way. You can call it ages or whatever, but I'm like, they do look different. Okay. But we ain't gonna act like Giselle back then didn't look the same age as Karen back then. And we're not gonna act like Karen hasn't for sure use all her money. She got all like I don't know if she got a facelift, but she for sure has gotten all kind of skin tightening things. She's gotten better wigs so that what I'm saying, her forehead isn't as protruding. Um, Look, things were had, things were done, okay, and we can't neglect that fact. But I want to point out they both now look great, so we not gonna act like that don't happen because black don't crack. Okay, well sometimes it do, sometimes it do, but most time it does not. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be. Anyway, they then get to Nikki asking Giselle, why did she wait until she was on a TV show to get back with Jamal? If y'all, why did y'all have all this time? Why wait until now to do this? Because of the storyline. Okay, we all know why. We all know why. Even though Giselle had a perfectly explainable answer saying that, back then, um, I was in Jamal's shadow back then. I was completely, just his wife or whatever. And now I was on my own. I was my own person or whatever. And we were both on, a better level, a better even level now with us both being our own people. I get what she meant. I do. Um, for anybody else who I would have believed that to be true, that's a good answer. That how I was with him back then and I hadn't quite found myself to where I would not be in his shadow. And I waited until I knew who I was, did not need him to see if we can be back together. But I don't believe for 1 second that Giselle waited to get better. I think Giselle, she needed a storyline. And they never was really back together. Okay. So Giselle, stop lying. Okay, but she also admits how for years, because Nikki was like, y'all, you were, with him in church. Because Giselle brought up how she helped him build his church back then when it was like 40 people. Oh, so you was living off the church back then. And Giselle said, no, 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 no. Jamal had a book back then. He had books. He had speaking engagements and stuff. So we lived off his because he had several other streams of income. And so we never touched the church money because he was doing all these other things. But his church went from 40 people to 15,000 people. So again, that's what it is. Do I believe Gizelle and Jamal didn't touch no church money? I mean, no, no. But I also feel like we all have heard of and all knew who Jamal Bryant was. And I would never want to be like, oh, he didn't have other income. He probably did have other income, but I'm not gonna say he didn't touch not near a dime of the church. Mm-mm. Not on my watch. Anyway, so we then see Nikki ask about the whole back and forth between Karen and Giselle, the fuzzing of it all, with Karen saying how Giselle had a hot box, she was alcoholic, and Karen went in saying shit she heard on social media or in the blogs or whatever. And Karen admits that that's what she would do. She would say things she saw on social media about Giselle. And Giselle, like, we've been fussing back and forth for 6 seasons. That's what it is. And I feel like Karen and Giselle pick and choose when they want to be offended about what the other one said. And usually 9 times out of 10, they don't care because I think both Giselle and Giselle and Karen understand we have to bicker back and forth to make people want to watch the show. And I would say Karen and Giselle's bickering back and forth each season, surprisingly, is about some different shit they've said. Um, so I wouldn't mind if everyone fussed as long as it's about something new and not consistently about old shit we've already rehashed over and over and over. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be too. So again, I don't really recall what the ending was of this conversation, but at the end of the day, both Karen and Giselle know they fuss back and forth, and Karen know sometimes she be lying. Okay, gonna leave that be. So Nia, Mickey, girl, I was say Mickey. Nikki asked me about um her mom. This to me wasn't a big deal. I was surprised Nikki didn't go harder at Mia about other stuff, but who knows what was cut out. And but she asked her about her mom, and how her mom would say, sometimes I don't like you because you remind me so much of your father. That hurts me. And if her mom saw how much it hurt her, and Mia admitted, it does, because for me, I have only good memories of my father, but my mom doesn't. Like, she has bad memories of him, so her opinion of him is just different from mine. So that, can be tough or whatever. But we're doing better now. And, she saw the show, she saw how much it hurt me. So we're both in a better place now. So we're working on a bond. Cool, cool, cool. And Nikki then asked her, had surgeries you've had have that enhance your sex life? And I was like, I don't care about nobody's cooch and penis life. But Mia said, well, yeah, it has. And said me and him is some freaking shit. And she also brings up how they dibble and dabble in threesomes. And that she picks women. I'm like, I'm not surprised. Look, that's on that lady. If she wants to share her penis with somebody else's vagina, that's on her. Let her do it. But I'm like, I don't care. At all. Nikki then asked Karen, Ashley, and Mia if they all had $100 million. Okay, when they met their husbands, because they're all married to older men. Would y'all have still married y'all older rich husbands had y'all been rich, $100 million rich back then? So Ashley, who was 22 when she met Michael, she was 22 and a bartender, and so she said, you know what? I don't think I would have, because I would have met him because I wouldn't have worked where I worked and we met at the bar. She said, but I was very much so attracted to him when I met him, meaning I didn't marry him just for his money. I also liked him. But if I had my own money and I wasn't in that bar, and I never would have met him, it just wouldn't have been. Um, and this is my thing. I don't like older men. That's that much older. But I don't understand why people act like they don't understand that some people like older people. Okay. I have friends who have older husbands and why you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, it's not awkward that someone likes someone older. And the crazy thing is we have to remember when Mia, Ashley, and Karen met their husbands were younger, so they ain't the old men we see now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's what it is. But I still feel like Ashley for sure married Michael for his money, and she also liked to fuck him. That's not weird to me. People like who they like. It's because like people like I can't. People act like they don't get when people like fat people, when people like tall people, and people like little people, and people like older. Like I don't get it. I just don't want people like an underage people. That's all that I'm like. I don't get that. But I'm like some people do like older people, but I'm leave that be. Karen bring up how for her when she met Ray, he moved my soul. I was like, damn, I moved her soul. So for her, it's like the money I would have had would have been cool, but I still would need Ray. Um, Mia say for her, uh, she's like, how do you know I don't already have 100? You know, 100 mil. Nikki said, I know you don't. I'm like, I find that answer hilariously funny, but also I'm looking like, but when we say that to the white people on the white shows, that's I promise you, it reminded me of last season when Andy implied, about if the check they make on Bravo is that it's good or whatever, and Monique like this check is nothing compared to what my husband brings in, and we were saying then how no one will question the white women who are rich already in life about if the money they make on the show is a big deal because they're rich, rich. So I'm like, Mia could have that money. She don't. She doesn't. And if she did, we know it came from G. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I was like, girl, but it was still funny. It was still funny. But it just reminded me of us saying last season we would never question the white shows about money because it's implied that they're that rich. Leave that be. But Mia say she would still have married G and she may have even still been dripping. I'm like, Mia, shut the fuck up. Because if you had 100 mil, you would not have been working in that strip club. You may have owned one and had a special night of dancing for your girl. Leave me, girl, stop that. Anyway, so I like the video. I needed some water, and my statement was being stupid. Nikki asked me if she feels good. If you feel good knowing or thinking that someone's husband likes you, I'm like, now that's a weird ass question, but I want to know what she's gonna say. And Candace, Mia thinks we're all intimidated by her. What's making Gizelle say, Candace, shut up, let her answer. I'm like, at that point, Candace must have been popping in a lot because Giselle seemed aggravated. And then Nikki then said to Candace, girl, look, go in the back, get your projector. Boom. Okay. And come and wait till I'm done to come back. I was like, girl. And Mia said, yes, put the kid in timeout. I'm like, Candace, they will forever call her a child. And I'm like, that's so sad. Anyway, but Nikki did say, what I meant by that was, what did you mean by saying Eddie couldn't look you in the eyes? And Mia was like, look, Mia pointed out at that party at Karen's house how it was Wendy who was giving off energy that, you know what I'm saying, she didn't want Eddie to look at, talk to, or pay attention to Mia. And we see the beautiful being footage of what happened. And we do see her saying, don't say Mia, that better say Mia. So you do see Wendy in those situations being insecure. So I got what Mia meant when she said that. You know what I'm saying? But again, everybody don't see shit. I see shit, which is fine. But I got what she meant. She's like, so my point was Winnie was so concerned with controlling Eddie that it was stupid. You know what I'm saying? You're so worried about controlling him and what he's seen or saying or whatever. That's dumb. And Nikki then say, yeah, Wendy did play herself. Come on, damn signal. Wendy did play herself, showing her insecurities about her husband and those in that manner. But Wendy then said, well, Mia played herself too by worrying about a married man when she is actually a married woman. And they fuss back and forth, and shut up, the girl, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I still feel like Winnie was doing too much, but I also feel like it's her right to defend herself if she feels like someone's coming at her and what they're saying isn't true. But I do feel like in that scene, what Mia was saying, you were trying to control what Eddie was doing, and a lot of people have said that that's the aura she gives off, that he can't do shit if he can't do anything if she did not allow it. I'm like, I mean, some people, some people. So Nikki then brings up, okay, how Eddie was supposedly allegedly following a whole bunch of booty models, booty, 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 rocking everywhere. And so you would control him so much. I wonder, oh, how did Eddie get away with that when Wendy is always on his ass? Okay, so because we feel like you come across as telling him what he can and can't do. And so Wendy then said that it isn't true. He was never following a whole bunch of booty models or whatever. The blog picked up. Production, who was messy, 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 brings up, they show how Eddie was following 623 people before the blog went out. And then after the blog was out, he was following 466 people. So he unfollowed 157 pages within, a day or so of this article being out. But Wendy then said also how she don't know who he follows. I'm like, if you don't know who he follows, then how do you know if he was or wasn't following booty models? Anyway, but she makes it clear, okay, that she did not get her body done for Eddie. And I think I want people to stop saying that, because even if Eddie was doing that or following booty models, whatever, I feel like, why do y'all keep trying to tie her surgery to that her husband? Is so weird. I'm like, let her body be her body, okay? Anyway, Candace and her mama, I didn't really care. I feel like even though Nikki was giving her great advice, saying your mom is going to ruin your marriage, and if you don't check her, that's gonna be your fate. Your marriage will be over. Um, I think everyone has told her that, and until Candace just allows her mom, I don't think. Well, it's weird because I feel like she can't control her mom. But I'm like, I just don't get why she don't stop bring her on camera. Like, your mom should not be on the show based on how she treats your husband, and that's what's fucked up or whatever. And when she said that she talked to her mom said that, well, she was just saying stuff because it's TV. I'm like, that's the worst shit ever, okay? And I'm like, your mama on bullshit. So again, I want Candace to just stop having her mom around, because that could help her marriage and her image, because she then does not have to defend her mama or her mama bullshit or whatever. But I'm gonna leave that be. Now Nikki then gets on Candace's, album, her singing or whatever, and she asked the girls like, how successful did y'all think she was gonna be? And me said not at all. Basically, Karen brings up how, well, I thought it'd be like a 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? But Candace brings up how, well, they bring up how Candace has streams, had over 500,000 streams, and she was on Billboard after like 2 months. And then he was like, wait, on Billboard, on iTunes, or on Billboard. And she's like, I was number 4 on iTunes, R&B, and number 20 something on the billboards or whatever. And this is for the song Drive Back, not her actual album. And I looked on Spotify for Drive Back. She did have over 300,000 yeah, on Spotify. Drive Back is her most successful thing. So we see Drive Back has 360,000 streams, and that's just on, on here. So the other songs not that much, but again, her album, we can't act like, she did not have a success to be a new artist out here in these streets. So I think that's one thing that we want to be sure that Candace did do good. Now did not I did not listen to the full album. What did I do? I listened to the thing. I got down to maybe song number 6 and gave up. And even the first all the songs, I couldn't get past like 30 seconds of them. So her album isn't for me, but I get why other people might like it. I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But either way go, she has some success. Now, Nikki then asked, well, how much has the album sold? And Candace then said, oh, a half million. She's like, no, that can't be true. And I'm like, that was some shady shit to tell someone it's impossible that you sold 500,000. I'm not, because I think her point was nobody sells that much. Okay. But well, no, that's not true. Some people do. Some do. But I think her thing was not right now. I don't believe you. So Candace like looked up her album stuff. And me, like, you don't know it's about her. You don't know. Well, it came out yesterday. I do feel like if my album results came out the day before, I probably would know the roundabout number. But I'm like, maybe Candace just didn't look. I don't know. So when she looked it up on her phone and said her album sold 20,213 copies, and Nikki still did not fully believe her. She was like 20,000 albums and 20,000. Okay. And they then showed a snippet of her new video, but I didn't, really watch out. Leave that be. But we do see Nikki ask her, well, if your team was like trying to sell you to a label, what would they say? And what would be the selling point of you? Oh, well, my vocal ability. You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking my whole life. And Nikki again was like, okay, if you say so. But you use auto tune. I had noticed that, and then Candace like, well, I did that. We do that a lot for creativity, and I feel like when people say they add auto tune to be creative, I'm like, no, your voice can be more creative than auto tune, but again, let her be. And so Nikki asked her to sing a cappella. Can you sing your song, Drive Back a cappella? Okay, show these folks what you can do. And Candace like, well, I can do a gospel song. I can do that. And I'm like, why you act like Millie Vanilli? Why you Millie Vanilli? Okay, stupid signal? What's going on? It's like she did not want to sing out loud, and I was like, okay, when Mia then said, "You're an artist, sing," I was like, "Bitch, no, shut up, Mia." And they all say, "Sing, girl, go ahead and sing." Now she sings it. She sounds fine, okay, but you can also tell she isn't a singer, meaning she isn't a person who can just out the blue. You can say sing some, she gonna sing some. Some artists have a voice that is always prepared, and Candace isn't there yet to where I feel like Candace feels that she has to be mentally prepared to sing in front of anybody. She gets a little bit nervous, which is fine. And she was not a sing on the spot type person. And I think that was why she was like, I can sing something. She just did not want to sound bad. And she did not sound bad. Anyway, we take a break or whatever. Chris comes out. Chris is pissed. Chris is pissed, and he says because he was upset with a lot of questioning that Nicki gave Candace on her music. And I'm like, bitch, what is fucking Nicki Minaj? And I think it was Andy, it was Gizelle. Like, it's Nicki Minaj. You just let her sing and shine. It was about her music and not other shit. And while I think Chris is stupid, I also got his point because I can't imagine what questions could have been asked that weren't aired. Because she'd be Nikki pausing and looking like I don't believe you can be damaging. It can be. But at the end of the day, Candace still they focused on your album. They spoke about your album. So that's also a good thing. But Chris is not happy. He was not happy at all. But again, that's where the episode ended. Okay. They had some drinks or whatever. And I'm like, look, it's been a long season and we know they'll be back next season. So again, we did not need 4 parts Hopefully I will see y'all next season for this show. We shall see. But make sure to like the video, comment in the comment section, and share on your social media. I gotta go. Bye bye.